Let's go grab my stuff. Assuming it's still down here. I don't know if things despawn if you're too far away. But I'd like to go get my resources because that was a lot of bridge lost. There we go. Well, we've got tons now. Luckily, it all ends up in one specific place. Let's see, what if we just tamed a bat and rode it across? That would be what we would call really convenient. So yeah, even if the bridge is shaking weirdly, it's not worth trying to make it more structurally stable. Silly physics systems. I just wanted like a nice, stable bridge for stable reasons. Luckily, I made this whole way out, so kind of helps. Mushrooms. Oh, we needed the black mushrooms for stuff, if I remember right. Like, something requires black mushrooms that I've seen. Let's see. Could you have done those little thin bridge bits? Maybe? I know you can stick them off. I don't know if you can do any more than that, though. Let's see, to the west is the giant crab thing. Yup, already found him. He was, he too shot me. It hurt. I guess the other thing I should look into is maybe there's better structural supports than what I've specifically been using. Nope, can't make that. I think water actually actively, like, pushes you downwards. Yeah. Maybe? I don't know. Hard to say. Alright, screw it. Instead of just making this kind of a giant inconvenience, let's just take the easy way out of here. Should probably grab some more iron while I'm down here too, but yeah, generally, rule of thumb, if a streamer is playing a game, it's not, well, I don't know. Rule of thumb, don't tell them about stuff that they don't know about, unless they're asking for it, because otherwise it just kind of comes off as, well, backseat gamey. Because, like, for me, specifically, I know a lot of people like to come in and be helpful, and, you know, I appreciate that, but it's also one of those where it's like, hey, Wander, here's a thing that you already know about, and I'm like, I really need to know about that. Okay, I'm going to assume it's probably safe to go out here. Like, I'm not even trying to admonish too much, it's just like, I've had tons of people, like, come in to tell me really basic things. I guess, a lot of this kind of, my, like, grump stems from, I don't know how many of you guys have seen or played, Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild was a fantastic game, but for whatever reason, everybody and their mother saw the need to tell me about the Master Sword, and how to get it, and after a while I was just so sick of it. And so now whenever anybody tells me something I already know, I'm like, yes, that was obvious when I found this thing you were describing. Like, people would straight up pop in and be like, hey, Wander, you need to have, like, 13 hearts to get the Master Sword. I still remember this. And it was, like, super consistently... Okay, we made it. It was super consistently, like, always kind of the same stuff, too. And I remember very well because they would come in and tell me, well, I had the Master Sword on my back, and I'm like, no, duh. Let's see, is this game finished or beta? It's sort of finished. This is not the finished version. I actually have no idea. About to post, you need 13 hearts. Ah! But like, I would have the Master Sword on my back. I'd be swinging it around. I'd be using Master Sword specific abilities, and people were still telling me about it. And it was just like, I'm fairly certain I know about the Master Sword by this point. You don't need to tell me. Like, I got this. Okay, there we go. And I don't fall through. Perfect. And it was so bloody consistent. It was amazing. Because, like, I honestly was just, like, floored that so many people were so gung-ho about spoiling the Master Sword for me. That they wouldn't even, like, bother to ascertain whether I even had the Master Sword to begin with. Let's see. Pretty sure there's an update for this game on July 10th. Yep, which is why I'm playing it. I kind of wish they'd they give me like a beta access key, because they're like, hey, we want you to cover the final version of this game. And I got an email today being like, Wander, have you played Dig or Die yet? And I'm like, I thought you wanted me to cover the full version. I guess I'll cover the almost full version. I mean, there's no skin off my back. I'm assuming not too much is going to change for the final update. But that's just my assumption. I could be very wrong. Okay, but do you know about the Master Sword? I had the same problem with Gungeon. Wander, are you gonna play Gungeon? Yes. I had somebody ask me the other day if I was gonna play Mother Gunship, and I was just like, survive the night. Well done. Build a rocket to escape the isolated planet. Better auto builders until you can make it. You have the auto builder Mark III. Be very careful if you explore far west deep underground. Sense an extremely strong lifeform signature. Some aluminum deep underground. Apologies for my bad English. My primary language is C++. Hurry up and build a rocket and upload my software so we can get off this rock. Gas rock may be our ticket out of here. But only gas rockets above. Get bored. Please hurry, you're getting bored. So I assume we're not supposed to kill the higher tier enemies because they put us on the next tier combat list. Well, I have been this tier for a very long time. Actually, oh, what was the most ridiculous one? I had some like really silly one fairly recently too. It was like, Wander, you're going to play the game that I was currently in the process of playing. It was like, what was I playing? It might have even been Gungeon now that I'm thinking about it, but it was like, Wander, you're gonna play Gungeon. Or, not Gungeon, Mother Gunship. And I'm like, I'm playing Mother Gunship. Or is it maybe it was Monster Hunter World? It was like something where it's like, it was unmistakable what game I was playing. And they still didn't even bother to look, and it's just like, I mean, I try and be kind of nice to people, but I can be a real dick sometimes too. Oh, right. Can't save during the nighttime. That's kind of a silly thing, to be totally honest, but whatever. Know what that bridge needs now? Goo and balloons. Dude, that would be a godsend if I could just, like, bust out the goo and balloons and go nuts for a little while. Remember how people kept asking you to play Scrap Mechanic? People still ask me consistently. If you remind me when I switch games, if I switch games, I might play another game tonight. I might just keep playing this for a little while. Because I'm enjoying myself. But my spam filter on YouTube is filled with Scrap Mechanic requests. Like, no joke. I get more people spam filtered for the word scrap than I get for the for pretty much any other, like, insults that I've spam filtered. Like, you know, I've spam filtered the word retard and, like, dumbass and, like, idiot and a bunch of other things, because I don't really like abusive comments. Sometimes I can be an idiot, but I don't really enjoy being told that I'm one. Because there's kind of a difference between, like, yeah, okay, I'm being stupid right now, and, like, somebody actively, like, insulting me for being stupid, if that makes sense. And so I've spam filtered a lot of comments like that. But, Scrap Mechanic just totally eclipses that. It's ridiculous. I don't even dislike the game. I want to probably play it again at some point, but it's just the matter of, like... Okay, there's the red crystals that I'm looking for. Well, they're common, too. So yeah, I guess you have to get to a certain point in the game to actually even unlock the Yep, so now we're onto the red fly tier. Luckily I can kill these guys. No, what? Jesus. This mountain is just flooding the rest of the world. I do kind of appreciate that the world is very clearly and cleanly organized. Okay, well, let's put this down for a second. Upgrade our tool. So we need aluminum for stuff. We need black dweller shells. Unfortunately, I think we have to what's this? Oh, auto repair. Nearby walls start some machines that have been damaged. I'll think about that. Okay, there we go. What else do we have? Solar panel, sunlight. Oh, I can turn wood into coal now. That's helpful. Rocket launcher. But we need black grass, which I have some, and aluminum. What about these? I guess really I just want to dig down for aluminum right now. Because yeah, I'd look into turrets and the like, but that's not going to be that helpful. Let's see. I should probably go for some more iron. I wonder if I can, Yeah, okay, so... my tool speed is significantly faster now that I've upgraded it. That's good. What game was I playing? There was a, It was one of these, like, many sandboxy mining games I was playing, and for whatever reason, the, like, tool speed never really increased in speed, so eventually you're just like, digging down is just a miserable experience, and I don't enjoy it. I don't miss those days. Okay. So I guess down we go. Oh, no, I haven't been down this direction before. Let's see, heavy turret, 8 aluminum, 7 coal will carry you for most of the game. Good to know. Just gotta find some coal then. Or not coal, some aluminum. I assume for the crab boss, what you're supposed to do is just make, like, a crazy turret gauntlet and melt the fool. There's the aluminum. That's the assumption, anyway. Let's see. Yeah, we need a ton of this stuff. I really want to play, like, a Factorio game. Kind of like this. I guess where you're, like, finding the resource nodes and you're setting up, like, automated mining stuff. Interestingly enough, I almost want to play, like... it'd be like a cross between Factorio and, I guess Oxygen Not Included. Like, effectively, I want to play an Oxygen Not Included, where it's less of a survival game and much more of a, like, a resource... exploitation type game, you know, a la Factorio or, well, really just Factorio. I'm sure there's other greater examples, but because like I really liked Oxygen Not Included when I played it, but I didn't find the constant like struggle to like fulfill needs to be very enjoyable. I kind of prefer more of like a progression system. You know, maybe if there's a mod, Oxygen Not Included in the style of Minute. What, you mean like super fast, you only have like 60 seconds to survive? I don't even know how that would go. Let's see, I don't know. I just want to play like Oxygen Not Included and like Don't Starve and whatever, but like without all of the like resource scarcity and much more of just like automation. I just love automation games. Hey, thanks for the bits, Gatlin Laser. Sort of welcome back. I knew you were kind of come and go. But it's nice to see when you pop in. Anyway, let's see. There's a question. I've missed it. Did you find that you lost a lot of viewers when you switched away from Scrap Mechanic? Yes, absolutely. So, I quit Scrap Mechanic kind of at the height of my channel, back in 2007, the beginning of 2017. And so I quit Scrap Mechanic kind of on the downturn. Scrap Mechanic was only getting 6,000 views as opposed to like tens of thousands per episode, which like doesn't seem like that much of a difference, but for me it kind of mattered. You remembered me, of course I do. I remember a lot of fans actually, which surprises me. I have terrible memory for names and whatnot. But so I quit Scrap Mechanic. I guess, when was it? Like, February or March? In 2017. And more or less just went cold turkey with it. I didn't, like, phase it out. I was just like, alright, daily episodes are done, I'm just done. Kind of like what I did with, a bunch of other things. I guess Slay the Spire. That's an easy example of a game that I pretty much just went cold turkey on lately. Mainly just because it kind of gets boring after a while, and it's like I would like to switch games because there's so many other games to play. I mean, Dig or Die is an easy example. And so I just went cold turkey on Scrap Mechanic on YouTube, and I went from like 2.3, 2.5, 2.6, somewhere in there. So, you know, decent amount of views, down to like 1.5, 1.7, which is like 500,000 views. Doesn't seem like it's that much, but that was like a fourth of my income at the time. And that's tough. Like, you don't generally want to do that ever. That's scary when it happens. Let's get the plasma sniper rifle and toss it in instead of this. That should be reasonable. Okay. Will I ever go back to Dragon Age Inquisition? Maybe. I didn't hate Dragon Age Inquisition. It's just like everything else. It's just very long. The longer a game is, the harder it is for me to keep up with it, to be totally honest. Okay, it's nighttime. Heavy turret. Okay. We're gonna try and dig out some of this so my heavy turret can have a good shot at things. It seems like having a heavy turret and a... Ooh, white bat. Having a heavy turret and a repair turret might not be a bad idea. But yeah, a heavy turret or two would probably do, like, a ton of damage to things. Looks like having the sniper rifle is going to be a massive difference, though, because it does tons. Still waiting for Digimon if it ever finishes. That is, Digimon is absolutely something that I... So, shoot, I can't really talk about it. I absolutely will finish Digimon. Because I believe there's a sequel on the way. I could be wrong, but I got to see a little bit of the PS4 version of Digimon. The, like, new one they're working on, and it looked real swank. So, I feel like I can say that it looks nice. I can't say anything. There's one that's specifically NDA'd that I can't talk about. And they might have announced it. I don't know. Unfortunately, Namco Bandai effectively flew me out there to, like, interview me and stuff, and then completely forgot that I existed, which is really amusing and also kind of unfortunate for me. Because I was hoping that I could use it as kind of an opportunity to cover more Namco Bandai games. But then again, a lot of their games lately have been kind of eh. Like, what was it? The Little Witch Academia Brawler, I don't think was very good. I should see if that went on sale, actually, because I wouldn't mind playing it co-op. With Shell. Can I pick this sucker back up? I can just pick that sucker back up. Awesome. How do I remove something from my bar? That's how I remove them from my bar. But yeah, to go back to the quitting scrap wrecked my channel. It kind of did. I definitely lost a lot of views, and that was the exact month that the adpocalypse happened, which was... That was honestly more catastrophic for me. The adpocalypse was not kind to my channel. Let's see, so the NDA on cool Namco Bandai thing will last until the game comes out? No, until they announce it. There's a cool Namco Bandai Digimon game in the works. That's it. Watch their Twitter feed. Hopefully it'll be announced there or somewhere. I don't know. I'm gonna be the last one to hear about it, probably. And when that happens, leading up to the next round of Digimon games, I'm going to go back and finish Hacker's Memory, and also probably try and knock out some of the World 1 through 4 games. Yeah, true fans won't leave you because you stop playing a game. You say that, but there's a lot of YouTubers that just, like, straight up don't have fans anymore. Like, they don't get much for viewership, and there's not exactly clear explanations why from YouTube. A lot of people like to say, like, the algorithm and whatnot. Which is true. You know, the algorithm does have, like, a massive say in things. YouTube used to be entirely based on likes. The more likes you had, the more engagement you had, the better. I'm really disappointed I can't make Terraria-style air pockets in this game. But, so, like, there's a lot of YouTubers whose channels have just, you know, faded from existence. Because, where'd you even come from? He wasn't there originally, was he? But whose channels have just straight up faded from existence because, nobody watches their stuff anymore. I think these guys are just spawning on me. I should probably save. Oh. And so there's a very huge risk factor into, quitting a game that is your, like, bread and butter. And a lot of people just can't, readjust. Like, I guess an easy example is, like, Gull of Doom. Cool guy, really nice guy. I was talking to him a couple days ago. But he decided to kind of move away from Terraria and switch games and, like, a couple other things. And his channel rumbled. It was bad. Still is bad. And, like, this is also kind of at a bad time in his life. So I'm fairly certain, like, his channel has just been on an indefinite hiatus. Or, like, kind of a rolling hiatus for a while. Which is, like, it's just rough, and you can't come back from that sometimes. Some people can. I've seen some people come back from, like, long hiatuses and just do totally fine. Also, thank you, Big Thick, for all the bits. 99 bits, but you couldn't do 100. Eh, that's fine. Okay, let's put this down. What can I make? I wouldn't mind making another heavy turret. And let's go back up here. I'm going to make one auto repair turret. I just kind of want to have like a turret emplacement that I can just stick down. So what do we have? Drone. Body for the AI of your ship. Integrated self-teleporting device so it can follow you everywhere you go. Okay. Laser gun, rocket launcher. I don't care too much about those yet. Rare metals detector. But we got to get a mad crab sonar. Oh, the mad crab is the huff sucker. There's also black piranhas, which are probably at the bottom. Gas rocks all the way at the top. Oh, teleporters. Oh, but I'd have to actually figure out how to teleport. That might be tough. Hydroelectric. I don't know. What else do we have? Precision potion, extra crits. So really what we want to do is get up for some black rock and these. Well, I guess I'm just going to grab what I've got in the area first. Look for some gold too. But then maybe consider killing the mad crab. The mad crab's going to be kind of tough, but he only attacks in melee, so if I just line the ceiling and turrets, he might not be so bad. But yeah, so I don't know. It was rough stopping Scrap Mechanic, but I'm glad I did. It gave me a lot of freedom. Same thing with Slay the Spire and Wizard of Legend, and pretty much any series that goes on longer than 30 episodes. It's usually kind of it's nice to be done with them. Like I've got a bunch of series that are within a week of finishing, and that feels really good to me, because that gives me room for more games like this. Because I like starting and finishing like new games. That always feels really good to me. And then YouTube, unfortunately, also like heavily rewards right now because of like watch time and engagement and whatnot. YouTube is like, hey, I see you put out a video for like that new game. Here's like a bunch of extra views, because everybody's, you know, looking for it, and it's, you know, just in general, YouTube audiences will almost always go for like the first episode and whatnot. You rarely, you will like, if you look at any of my playlists, it's very rare for episode 2 to have more views than episode 1. And so YouTube just kind of is like, well, episode 1's are king. Everybody wants to see the first episode of games. So I've been noticing a lot of, like, traditionalist Let's Players are kind of fading. Which is kind of rough. And, I mean, it makes total sense. I would switch if I actually had the interest in other content forms. Because, like, I know guys that, like, only put out, like, 1 video a day for 1 game. And they, like, rarely play past, like, the 3rd episode for anything. And they do amazingly well, and I'm like, I'm kind of jealous on that. Or Fortnite. There's a junior YouTuber that I knew some people were like advising him, and he was getting into Fortnite. He was like, yeah, I want to, like, do Fortnite PvP, and, like, PvP, PvE kind of didn't matter. He just wanted to, like, really get in on it. And they're like, okay, we're going to tell you everything you need to know on how to more or less sell out as hard as possible for as many views as possible. And, like, I heard he's already, like, he went from, like, 50 subs to 15,000 subs in, like, 3 months, which is insane. Because, like, it took me years to even get above 10,000. 2 years? 2 years above 10,000, I think. And then even more past that point. But he did like a stream the other day and he had 700 viewers, and I was just like, I am legitimately jealous about this. See, why do kids get more views than Wanderbot? Because other kids watch them. So my entire audience that I like market towards is anybody over the age of 18, kind of. And that's like the smallest user base on YouTube, I believe. And that's kind of rough. Yeah, teach us how to sell out. Hell if I know. Pretty much any point where they start talking about it, I, like, check out because I don't want to... I personally am not very big on the whole, like, selling out thing. I feel weird about selling shirts. Because, like, I make a decent living, and maybe part of it is because I had a really shitty job before YouTube. So I'm just like, hey, I don't need to sell out. I am happy where I am. And these guys are like, no, man, if you can get, like, 100 million views for, like, 2 months, that's more than you'd ever get on YouTube. And it's like, yeah, I guess that's true. I get about... Well, no. I get about, 30 million views a year now. So it'd take me 3 years to rival one of those people for a month.